go. Why the fuck is that lower than... Okay, whatever. Right, we're going to Roxanne Valentine versus Margaret Majors. We start off with some chain wrestling. Each woman trying to get her better of the next. Obviously, Margaret Majors looking for a bit of a uptick in form. She had that great performance against Olivia Black to end her undefeated streak. But until then... since then, sorry, not done all much or nothing. And then Roxanne Valentine, obviously a debut for her tonight, looking to stamp her name on MCW history. Oh.
Taking things way too far. All's fair in love and war, gentlemen. I saw nothing but effective offense. Telegraphed that one and delivered.
And a big kick there from Margaret Majors to get back up from the corner.
Fisherman suplex. Oh my God, misses the target.
She plants Roxanne Perez.
Nice takedown.
And then going for the roll up here. One. And a kick out. And a reversal. And another reversal. And another reversal. Oh, and another one. And another one. Fucking hell, you hooked up some wires to these two. The amount of kinetic energy that they'll be giving. This is... all that for a one kick out. I've never seen that go on as long as it did.
Taking the reins and applying the chin lock.
And Roxanne putting Margaret in a headlock here.
Transitioning into the armbar.
But Margaret Majors trying to get out, but Roxanne doing everything to stop Margaret Majors from getting the advantage. But some punches into the side of the torso. And then a combination of punches into the face. Dropping the head on Roxanne. Punches into the stomach. Throwing Roxanne into the corner. A big clothesline into the turnbuckle.
She is on a roll and it looks like no one can stop her. This is just ridiculous. Look at the power. This is downright superhuman. Into the suplex. No other way to say it, guys. That looked like it hurt a lot. Up and down with the atomic drop.
A splash from Margaret Majors. 1 minute.
That looked rough. I think that busted her open. Yeah, we might need to get her some help. Now shoulders down. Here we go. Fends off the 3 count. No celebrations yet. Heading to the top turnbuckle now. Blast off. Oh, goodness, what a moonsault. No way you can fully recover after that. Looking for the pin. No, she kicks out. She kicks out. You have to wonder, what more does she have left? We have reached a whole other level here. And now it's reload time. Time to find another moment to pull off that one more time. She got put to the test there.
Fuck's sake, that woman calls me at all the most inconvenient times. I'm like free pretty much all week, and she only... last time she tried to call me was last stream as well. She only ever seems to call me when I'm on stream. Fucking annoying. Call me at any other time in the week.
Right in the breadbasket. Oh, she was ready with the counter.
Roxanne Valentine sent to crashing to the outside.
Countering that offense. Into a monkey flip. Oh.
Roxanne trying to send Margaret into the steps, but Margaret tripping over before the steps to go over them.
This is just outrageous power. Into it, Sherman.
And a suplex from Roxanne to Margaret on the outside.
What a throw. Monkey flip.
I wish they just did the camera angle for this side of the ring side. I don't understand why this ringside camera doesn't change. And a stunner from Roxanne to Margaret on the outside. And a submission hold, but it's on the outside. Margaret Majors taps, but it means absolutely fucking nothing. Because they're on the ring side.
She throws her back in.
Shows a bit of amateur inexperience from Roxanne.
But she's about to feel so much worse.
Making, goes for a slingshot spear, but does not connect it. Margaret Majors with a big clothesline. Into another big clothesline, still not breaking the grip. And a third one for good measure. And she's got Roxanne up into a power bomb. Into another power bomb. Into a third power bomb. Dropping the elbow on.
Nearly cut in half. My gosh, over the head, belly to belly. Look in the arms, rings of Saturn. It's over. She just couldn't fight it any longer. Here's another quick look at some of the highlights.
What the fuck just happened? I looked down for 2 seconds and it's now over. What happened? I'm genuinely having to wait and see what happens because I just did not see what happened at all. Of course it's when I look her down. Yeah, this was when Margaret May just tapped out. Yeah, and the triple power bomb, right? Oh, but then Roxanne reversed into a submission, and Margaret May just tapped again. Oh, okay. I did not see it.
This is the type of victory where you really have to weigh the cost.
Because I was too busy looking at Discord. Apologies. But Roxanne Valentine picking up a win in her debut. Fee takes on Evelyn Reyes in one-on-one competition. Obviously, Apathy having a slight advantage. Well, two big advantages that you would say. Obviously, the first one being that she is probably the most experienced woman on the entire roster. As what the fuck is happening here? Into a interesting roll-up from Evelyn. But she also has Owen O'Rourke, the workhorse of MCW, who has had the more matches than anyone here. And obviously, wife of Apathy, which is probably the title that he'd be most known for, or that he would prefer himself to be most known for. In her corner, helping her through. Going for the pin now, 1. And a kick out at 1. from Evelyn. Goes for a springboard Hurricane Rana to take Evelyn down to the mat. Oh. Submission hold locked in from Evelyn Reyes. Of course, as well, Apathy is someone who's, you know, been known to want to showcase the women's talent in MCW a lot more. Probably one of the reasons she was chosen to be the first opponent of a new debuting woman here tonight. Nice backwards neck breaker. To a drop kick to the back of Apathy. Evelyn has been looking pretty strong here tonight so far. Goes for a big springboard moonsault, but it's just too far away. But that'll do that. The excitement of a debut will make you misjudge your choices. You know, it's very easy to misjudge distances, misjudge speeds when you're not used to the conditions in the ring. And another roll up. Oh, it's going mental again. It's going mental again. Going for the roll up though, and a kick out before one. And a Hurricane Rana. Evelyn moving Apathy away from the ropes. But Apathy started getting to her feet, but Evelyn just a little stomp to the ankle to prevent that from happening. Apathy catching the leg. Rosario kicks her own. And a headbutt into a suplex. She goes into the corner. Into a punt kick. Goes into the pin now on Evelyn. 1, 2. And a kick out from Evelyn Reyes at 2. Goes to the springboard moonsault. And Evelyn Reyes rolling out the way and returning one of her own. Whatever you can do, I can do better. And then going for the pin right in front of Owen. The disrespect from Evelyn. But Apathy grabs the rope, but the ref doesn't see it as Evelyn Reyes picks up the win. Pinning Apathy right in the face of Owen O'Rourke. Apathy grabs the ropes, but the ref does not see it and does not call for a rope break. So Evelyn Reyes has got a win in her debut, but in probably the most controversial fashion you could. Evelyn going for the pin right in front of her husband. Look, Owen trying to rally the crowd, knowing that there's no way that would have taken Apathy out. Obviously, too close to the ropes. Even Apathy was clearly confident on the rope break, but the ref just apparently not seeing it at all. And here I was thinking that Evelyn might have been a face, but with maneuvers like that. Here we go. John Black, the international champion of MCW, going up against Elena Claire, one of the most enigmatic superstars currently on the roster today, who's been on a mega rise. Obviously, you know, she had a great debut match, winning match of the night against a wrestler that is no longer here. And then we had, obviously, she got a shock win over MD Silver, earning herself a shot at the European Championship and Leon Grimes. Of course, obviously, she did lose that match. But then, you know, coming off the back of that, having another match of the night contender, or another match of the night winner, sorry, with Lacana Toro, and getting drafted over to Strike. She's just been a very, very strong competitor. A lovely springboard stunner. And she's immediately, without any hesitation, taking the fight to the international champion, John Black. Targeting the legs of the big man. Obviously, there's the big size difference between these two. And John Black trying to take advantage of this now and powerbomb into a second powerbomb, into a third powerbomb. Targeting the legs into a pop-up neck breaker. As he goes for a springboard coffin drop, but Elena gets up more in time. And honestly, that was like the slowest coffin drop I've ever seen. I know it wasn't like a coffin drop, I guess it was more like a fucking, you know what I mean, similar thing. Either way, it was slow as shit. And John Black throwing Elena against the ropes into a suplex. Rolling over into a front slam. To another front body slam. And a kick to the face, but Elena got her fist up there to block it. Throwing John Black into the corner. But John getting an elbow up. To an underhook suplex from John Black. And planting Elena Claire into the mat. But Elena getting a big boot up at the last second to catch John Black off guard. Oh, welcome to the stream, Cassidy. And Elena Claire going for the pin now. 1. And a kick out at 1 from John Black. And John Black going for the tombstone pile driver on Elena Claire, and he does. And now stalking her once more. Into a package pile driver. 2 pile drivers back to back, and surely Elena Claire's not getting up from that. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Elena Claire, somehow holding on to this match. But John Black not letting up. And a sit-out powerbomb. Into another falling sit-out powerbomb. This is just a brutalization from John Black. But Elena Claire moves out of the way. Now slamming John Black down to the mat. She climbs to the second rope. Then John Black to his feet into a falling code breaker. Goes in for the pin now. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from John Black. Of course, as well, you know, obviously for Elena, this is a chance to, you know, really show off where she could be in this strike card. If she could beat the international champion, that could only mean great things for her. Of course, John Black, though, here, it's all about sending a message to Leon Grimes ahead of standoff for the champion v champion match. And a spinning back fist into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from John Black. Unironically, the spinning back fist is one of my favorite finishers that we actually have, in the company. I just think it works for her character really well. And snapping the arm of John Black. Now raining down the punches. It's been a great back and forth between these two. But John Black gets to his foot. Gets to his feet. And picks her up and plants her on the mat once more. We've seen him use that move several times. Going for his 630 springboard splash. As he hits it, Elena Claire gets back up though and takes him down with a clothesline. John Black though rolling out of the way there, but Elena Claire dodging the jumping forearm. Throwing John Black against the ropes and goes for a drop kick, but John Black moving her out the way. But Elena Claire's still getting the speed. And gets him down and leg plant down to the ground. And Elena Claire dropping elbows into the head of John Black. Showing so much passion and flair. And a kick to the chest. John Black catches the kick. And taking Elena Claire into the corner now. Puts her on the top turnbuckle. As he gets her up high, onto the shoulders. But Elena Claire fighting her way out of it. Elbows to the face. And a bulldog from the top rope. Incredible fight from Elena Claire here. John Black returning with a punch to the gut though. And gets her up into a tombstone power driver. And wants to seal the deal here. Going for the package power driver. And he gets her up. And plants her right on the neck. And then goes for the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Elena Claire. Incredible performance so far from her. And again another plant to the mat from John Black. And Elena Claire pushing John Black off into a springboard moonsault into the pin. Can she do it here? 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from John Black. This match genuinely could be anyone's game. John Black returning, throwing Elena into the ropes. Into the stomach and a little knee to the head here. As John Black goes for a springboard elbow and it connects. Seems like it connected right into the thigh of Elena Claire there. But Elena pushing John Black off. Still fight left in this woman. Helping John Black up to his feet. And she returns with a tombstone power driver of her own. Using his own move against him. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from John Black. And John Black with a quick elbow. And Elena dodging. Goes for the spinning back fist, but John predicts it. Catches the leg. Targeting it now. Going for the pin on Elena Claire. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. There was a split second there where that match could have ended very differently. Elena Claire winding up the spinning back fist, but John Black at the very last second catching it. And the consistent targeting of the leg from John Black was just too much for Elena Claire to handle. Just wanting to put that match to sleep. But Elena Claire putting in a valiant effort. And most likely another match of the night for Elena Claire potentially. I don't know how she does it, but she just puts on an incredible performance every time she is in that ring. I realised I think the problem with my stomach today, I'm pretty sure the milk that I've been using has gone off, but like, I needed a brew to get the energy up anyway, so I just drank it anyways. My stomach can deal with the consequences later. Act now, think later. That's what they say. And a genuine, incredible match. Elijah, it wasn't for the title. It wasn't a title match. Well, it wasn't a title match, unfortunately, Elijah. It's just a normal match. I also think Elijah might be, like, miles behind, because he's only just acknowledged that the match ended. But Noah Morrison versus Elijah Chambers. Big match feel. Going into this one, go for the clothesline immediately, but Elijah Chambers moving out of the way. And both men just drastically misjudging the distance from each other. But a big suplex from Noah Morrison to Elijah Chambers, sending him across the ring. Now a kick to the face, and Elijah with an immediate pin, trying to get this match over with as quickly as possible. We had some rumours as well. There was a bit of a backstage spat ahead of this match as well between Elijah Chambers and a former foe of his, Francis Sharp. Could that be playing on his mind tonight? Of course, you know, Elijah Chambers losing his only title shot to Francis Sharp. Of course, in the International Championship match at Fight Fest, I believe it was. But Noah Morrison, not a stranger to his own title opportunities as well, having fought Leon Grimes for the European Championship on 2 separate occasions, coming unsuccessful in both. Back when he was on KLASH. So both men be wanting to prove that they can still earn title shots. Noah Morrison dropping a side slam onto Elijah Chambers, but Elijah Chambers pushing him off. And a nice springboard cutter. It's not often you actually see Elijah actually hit those. Usually he gets a bit overzealous and misses. And a sit-out powerbomb from him too. And a big clothesline from Noah Morrison. Into a backdrop. Into a spine buster. A lovely front power slam there. Going into the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Elijah Chambers. No, Morrison picking Elijah Chambers up now. Into another pin now. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Elijah. Goes to drop the knee into the head, but Elijah rolling out the way. Elijah picking up the big man, but Noah Morrison getting out of the way. And then returning an elbow into the back of the knee of Elijah Chambers. And Elijah going for a bit of an optimistic pin here. 1, and a kick out at 1 from Noah Morrison, as to be expected. Hadn't seen it any. And a lovely power slam from Noah Morrison. Taunting Elijah Chambers, letting him know that I am here and I'm the next big dog on this brand. Oh no, you hate to see a big man go top rope. The tension of the ring stretched as far as it can deal with into a big splash, into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Noah Morrison in very, very dominant fashion over Elijah Chambers, picking up the win. And Noah Morrison on a great little run here. As he's now picked, I believe he has not lost a match since debuting onto Strike. Oh, sorry, hang on, I need to mute because I'm going to keep burping. There we go. Yeah, that was a really fast match. Do you know what's funny, Elijah? I added the paybacks that you asked me to add, and somehow he got worse. He had no paybacks when he beat Brad Collins. You give him paybacks, which should be an advantage, he just gets fucking plowed through. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Apologies for the burping. Don't know what's going on with me today. Noah Morrison lifting his hands up. Diego Barbosa versus Doug Foster. Of course, this is also as well 2 originals from MCW's first ever show. Of course, went down completely different paths. Diego was kind of always in that top of the card scene, but he didn't actually get his first actual title opportunity until the last PLE at Full Moon against Max Black. But Doug Foster went down the tag route, of course, became one half of the first ever tag team champions. Unfortunately, losing it then 4 days later in their first defense. Then got into another tag team. Challenged for the belts once more. It obviously was not successful, and then obviously went his own way, moved over to Strike, and is starting to pave his own destiny. And of course, Diego having there's obviously a lot of respect between these two men. This is not a feud match. This is not a match with any level of hatred. This is simply 2 professional competitors wanting to get the best out of each other and see what they've got in them before standoff. 1, and a kick out at 1 from Diego. Obviously, we link into Chain Wrestling. It shows a lot as well of Diego Barbosa using that experience of working within a team, and back from his football days, showing as well his ability to lead, as well, making sure that all of his team members have matches leading into standoff. Of course, the only one of his team members that haven't got a match on this show has been Andre Cruz, which there's already been rumorings of, maybe there is a potential bit of difficulty between those two due to, obviously, the triple threat match on Strike that Diego Barbosa won by stealing the pin from Andre Cruz. A less than honourable choice from a usually unhonourable man. A lovely kick to the face of Doug Foster there. Of course, Diego as well is someone who's got a very underrated record in MCW. He's never really brought into those conversations as all-time greats, but he is 12-5, which is very impressive. But a submission lock now from Doug Foster onto Diego, but Diego immediately getting it out of it. And honestly, it would be no surprise if Diego knew pretty much all of his teammates inside and out. You have to assume he did his research ahead of choosing them for his team. But but I believe that Diego went for a code breaker there that was reversed by Doug Foster, so maybe he did his own homework. And leapfrogging over, big knee to the leg of Doug Foster. Again, it's that kick-based offense with Diego Barbosa. We often say that those legs might be one of the most deadliest weapons in MCW. And a rolling drop kick. Lovely maneuver there. Targeting the back of Doug Foster. Running towards the ropes. Diego not laying on his teammate, but again, I guess it's that thing of he just has a high respect for Doug Foster that, he doesn't want to do him a disservice by not trying his best here. Goes for a step-up kick there, but Doug Foster pushing him out the way. But Diego moving out the way just too fast for him. And this is so far quite a dominant display from Diego Barbosa. Clearly showing why he was chosen as the Strike captain, despite actually being one of the newer members of Strike. Of course, he's not the newest member of Strike in the team, Noah Morrison joining slightly after. A lovely springboard kick there from, spinning kick, sorry, from Doug Foster to get back in. But Diego moves out of the way and into a code breaker. Goes for the pin now on Doug Foster. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Doug Foster. Diego climbing top rope. Going for the coup de grace and it connects. Moving Doug Foster away from the ropes, seeing that his ropes were way too close to the leg was way too close to the ropes. 1, 2, 3. Diego Barbosa showing why he's the man to lead his team into war at standoff. Proving his dominance there. Showing he has the heart, the spirit, and the ability to be the team captain. And you have to assume that that kind of performance might make someone like Henry King relatively nervous. Because you never want to see your opponent having a dominant win like that. But, you know, you could see it either way, though. Maybe you could see it as him being happy. Maybe he believes that Doug Foster is going to be off his game going into standoff. And you can tell that Diego was not letting up there, as well as, obviously, Doug is busted open. As he stands tall. With that Botafogo tattoo on the back of his neck, letting everyone know where his career in athletics. Oh, Javi Unner versus Ronan Wolf. Two big men, both men actually hailing from Scandinavia, of course. Ronan Wolf from Norway and Javi Unner from Iceland. The only two Scandinavian wrestlers in the whole company. Referee having to break it up, but Ronan Wolf with a cheap shot. Keeping Harvey in the corner, knowing that the danger comes from the open field, really, of the ring. Realize if he can corner Harvey, then maybe he has a chance to, you know, be able to retain the expected victory in him winning. But this is also a massive opportunity for Harvey Unner, who impressed in his dominant performance in his debut. Earning himself a match against one of KLASH's top stars as we go into some chain wrestling here tonight. Flicking him down now to the mat. Javier getting an elbow up. And a shoulder tackle. As Javier showcasing the strength of the Viking. Dropping Ronan Wolf face first. It's not often that Ronan Wolf is lifted that high in the air. No, there's no doubt about it. This match isn't going to be one of those technical classics. It's going to be just brutal big men seemingly trying to beat each other to death. And a nice power slam from Javi Unner there. Ronan Wolf slipping out of the grip of Harvey. But Harvey with a big punch to the gut. He's just swinging left and right at Ronan Wolf and then flinging him over, slamming him down to the mat. This is what he felt like, chilling on top of a ladder. Yeah, that is true. He do just be chilling on that ladder sometimes. And a running power slam from Ronan Wolf. And going for the pin. And a kick out before one. Ronan Wolf clearly stunned there. Had to take a little look around to make sure that what he just saw was real. Javi Onoa kicking out before a 1 count. Clearly Ronan Wolf expected less from Javi. And a huge fall from Grace. And now just manhandling Javi Onoa. Maybe he's got into his consistency in this match here. Lifts Javi Onoa up. And then dropping him on the back of the neck. Stalking Javi as he gets to his feet. And goes for a clothesline from hell, but it's caught by Javi, who drops down to prevent the clothesline from hell. Javi raining down the forearm onto the back of Ronan Wolf as he now goes to the corner, stalking Ronan Wolf, and a spear as he goes in for the pin now. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Might not be the last time we see a spear tonight, as well as we have a Francis Sharp teaming up with MD Silver against Vixen later on tonight. And a sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Ooh. Javi Onoa throwing Ronan Wolf outside of the ring. And getting Ronan Wolf up. Front slam on the outside. Stomping on the ankle. Now dropping the splash. This is everything you wanted from this match, ladies and gentlemen. It is brutal. It is powerful. Every single punch makes you almost cringe with just understanding how much that would hurt from either of these two men. And running from corner to corner, but a shoulder, or an elbow, sorry, up from Ronan Wolf, who gets Javi up to the top and dropping him face first onto the ropes now. Waiting for Javi to get up. And a suplex of his own. But Javi gets it up there. And it looked like another clothesline from hell was attempted there. But it was dodged by Javi, who caught it. But then a lovely shoulder tackle from Ronan there to take Javi down. And he re-goes for the clothesline from hell. This time it connects. 3rd time's a charm. Will it be the winner though? 1, 2, kick out at 2 from Javi Onoa. Dropping forearm after forearm onto the back of the neck of Javi. And now mounting him to get more running. And now elbows to the head of Javi, not letting up Ronan Wolf, knowing what kind of beast he is in the ring, attempting to slay. And a huge swing there from Javi to take down Ronan Wolf in one punch, but Ronan Wolf quickly getting back to his feet, not allowing it to keep him down for too long. And a spear from Javi. Going straight into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Javi Onoa picking up the win against Ronan Wolf. And Harvey on Air could be on his rise to stardom with a shock victory against one of the most brutal wrestlers in the business. And 2 spears is all she wrote. And it's the hunter that takes down the predator and turns the predator into prey. But big man Harvey on Air picking up an incredible victory. And Harvey on Air could be onto big things. You could not have asked for anything more from a big meaty man match. You got everything that you needed to see. Including a shock winner. Then Harvey himself can almost not believe it. Taking a minute to soak in the moment before chanting to the crowd. Tyler 6 debuting for MCW against Lacana Toro. Of course, Lacana Toro last week losing to a debutant of himself, and a spear from the get-go from Tyler 6. And a knee to the face into the pin immediately. 1. And a kick out at 1 from Lacana Toro. Goes for a spin kick there, but Lacana Toro catching it. Dropping down. And now leapfrogging to a nice double-handed suplex into the pin. But a kick out before 1. Ooh. As these two competitors lock into chain wrestling now. Still into chain wrestling here, targeting each other as much as they can. Tyler 6 throwing Carnatoro towards the ropes, goes for a spinning kick but misses, and then misses the punch afterwards. But does dodge with a nice little heel kick to the face of Carnatoro. Oh, and showing off to him, I suppose. Throwing the Carnatoro into the corner now. And get him up to the top. To a back package backdrop. Into the pin now. 1. And a kick out at 1 from Carnatoro. Carnatoro dodging the kick. Returning with 1 to his own. As they're now exchanging strikes. And caught by Tyler 6, who gets free in quick succession. Chop to the chest with Carnatoro. Tyler 6 asking for more, and Carnatoro delivers. As both men exchanging punches as rapidly as possible now. As Tyler 6 is the one that ends up dazed. Kanatoro throwing over. And a standing Spanish fly. Goes for the springboard. Goes in for the pin now. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Tyler 6. Kanatoro dropping the elbow onto the leg. Standing moonsault. And a roll up from Tyler 6 here to steal it. 1, 2, and a kick out by Kanatoro. And a roll up of Kanatoro's roll up of his own. But a kick out before one. Referee took ages to respond to that one. Dodging the double axe hammer there. Axe hammer? That's what it's called? Oh, I don't know. Axe handle, that's the one. Tyler 6 going for springboard splash, but Kanatoro rolls out the way. Goes for the pin now on Tyler 6, just clearly keeping him on his toes. Tyler 6 obviously not getting put down that easily. Tyler 6 dodging out the way. Kanatoro taking him to the corner. Tyler 6 pushing the drop kick out the way. Throwing Kanatoro to the outside of the ring. And a H-bomb to the outside of the ring. And gets him up. To a front slam on the outside of the ring as well. As soon as this fight turned to the outside, it's been all Tyler 6. And a lovely, pop-up cutter variant there from Tyler 6. Both men down on the outside of the ring. Tyler 6 not able to capitalize. Looked like he took a lot of damage from that move as well. And tries to throw him into the steps, but it doesn't work. Now getting into the steps now. Taunting towards the crowd. Comes back out. Goes to drop the back onto him, but Kanatoro moves out of the way. Returning chop after chop. Kanatoro trying to clearly get Tyler 6 back in the ring, but Tyler 6 getting out of it. And a big knee from Kanatoro. Oh, twisting the arm. And trying to return the favour by getting Kanatoro trying to return the favour by throwing him down. And he now goes to the top rope, staring him down. And goes for a spinning clothesline, but it's moved out. But Tyler 6 moves out the way. And Kanatoro throwing Tyler 6 back into the ring. Trying to use the crowd's energy. But Tyler 6 clearly surprising Kanatoro here. Looked like Tyler 6 was considering maybe getting a weapon out, but realizing he can't do that. And Kanatoro sending the fight straight to the back, to the outside. Neither men. And a huge tornado DDT from Kanatoro. Goes to throw him towards the steps, but it's reversed by Tyler 6, who drops in with the electric chair to the outside. Neither men wanting to end this anytime soon. Tyler 6 running at him. Picking him back up, trying to take him back into the steps once more. What a brutal match between these two. A debutant who's clearly not scared to show his aggression in the ring. Well, more like on the outside of the ring. And now he goes for the pin. After that brutal beatdown with the steps. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Kanatoro. As Tyler 6 gets him back up to his feet. and planning him down with the rose plant. Now going top rope. Go for another 630 elbow, and this time it hits. Going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Tyler 6 picking up the win against Lacana Toro. In a fantastic match between the two of them. The aggressive beatdown from the debutant showing that he's not here to mess around. Making a statement to the entire roster, it seems, that anyone can get it. And maybe Tyler 6 could be someone to fear in that locker room going forward. Great showing. Carnitoro shows spirit. He does, he does. I'm going to send you a quick message, John. As Tyler 6 celebrating his debut with the crowd. As we go into now, D-Way versus Ryan Ross. D-Way looking to capitalise on the momentum that he got last week in the win in his debut. Going for the roll-up immediately on Ryan Ross here. 1, and a reversal from Ryan to roll up D-Way in return. As we now go into chain wrestling here. Nice twisted neck breaker. Throwing D-Way into the ropes. Ryan Ross with a power slam. Oh. A nice springboard drop kick attempt there, but D-Way managing to push him out of the way. And D-Way just dodging all of Ryan's shots, but eventually one of them does connect. Dropping down now. D-Way starting to get some momentum in this match. Dropping him down to the mat. Go for the pin now. 1. And a kick out at 1. Goes for the drop kick, but D-Way move out of the way. D-Way's definitely been the one on top of most of this match, I'd say. Being able to predict most of Ryan Ross' movements, although got a bit overzealous there with the punch, clearly misjudging the pace in which Ryan Ross was going to come tunneling at him. And a scissor kick from Ryan Ross into the pin. 1. And a kick out at 1 from D-Way. Big super kick from Ryan Ross. But DeWay targeting the leg, taking advantage, being able to catch Ryan Ross off guard. And DeWay's got Ryan Ross up top. Into an F5. Into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, kick out at 1 from Ryan Ross. Picking Ryan Ross up now. Ryan Ross now dodging out of the grapple. But still, D-Way's the one that gets the advantage. Into a nice suplex. Into a second suplex. Into a third. The Three Amigos completed. Going for the pin now. 1, 2. Oh, another kick out at 1. Not a single kick out in this match that's been more than 1. And D-Way using the ropes here. 1 kick out at 1. Ref didn't seem to notice. Obviously, Ryan Ross clearly showing signs of frustration there, that the ref didn't catch that. And D-Way dodging the way here. Planting him down to the ground. And now running towards the ropes. Going for a splash on Ryan Ross. Taunting Ryan as he's down on the ground. And goes for a big boot, but Ryan Ross ducking underneath. Throwing D-Way into a super kick. Rebounded from the ropes. Dropping both legs onto the stomach. But D-Way catches the leg here into a DDT. Get Ryan Ross to get up. And a springboard lariat into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. The first 2 count in this match so far. But D-Way still not finished with Ryan Ross, waiting for him to get to his feet. And goes for a super kick, but Ryan Ross catches it into a clothesline. Goes in for a pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Both men down on the ground here. Ryan Ross clearly not paying attention to his own cardio, as he seems to have gassed himself out whilst mid-attacking D-Way. But it has been a very high-intensity match. And a power slam from Ryan Ross, as he now goes to the corner, waiting for D-Way to get up. And a spear into the pin. 1, 2... and a kick out at the last possible second from D-Way. This has been a great back and forth between these two men so far. And a very entertaining match. And a sling blade from Ryan Ross. As he goes to the corner once more. And a sweet chin music to D-Way. But D-Way rolling out of the way of the elbow now. He's going to have to capitalise on this opportunity here. And a suplex to Ryan Ross. Dodge of the punch there. Ryan Ross returning one of his own. And he gets D-Way on the shoulders, but D-Way wriggling out of the way. He's got Ryan Ross up for a suplex. Dropping the elbow onto Ryan now. D-Way going to the top rope. And a splash to Ryan Ross. 1, 2, 3. D-Way putting Ryan Ross down with Ryan's own finisher. Because I don't believe D-Way's finisher is a splash. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it is. So I think that is D-Way stealing Ryan Ross's finisher and putting him to sleep with it. in a great match between those two. I'm going to double check this because I don't think it is his finisher, right? That's definitely not. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, he does have a Frog Splash signature. Never mind, he does have a Frog Splash signature. You're right, DOA doesn't have a finisher splash. That's insult to injury. To be fair, it could have been the splash. I think it was. Oh, yeah, it was because Ryan Ross's is the Uso splash, so it's like it doesn't do the frog motion. Cassidy, this new guy debuted last week. He's already had a match before. He already won his debut. This is his second match. I think. Let me have a look at this. Was this a normal frog splash or was it a? Okay, yeah, never mind. That was just DOA's signature. It wasn't a move thief thing. I was asking because I'm pretty sure DOA does have move thief, so that's why I was asking. Ooh. Vixen versus MD Silver and Francis Sharp. And immediately, the brothers in crisis immediately being the ones to take the front. But Vixen managed to trip both of them off guard. A sling blade from MD Silver goes towards the help. And a big clothesline to help his tag partner, Francis Sharp. Of course, we've seen some great communication between these two recently, which is what earned themselves a shot at the tag titles in what is being dubbed as the Blood Devils' biggest test yet. Two main event level stars tagging against each other. A true behemoth of a tag team. Although they're very good at being able to swap tag partners when the other needs help. But Mazzarchi being able to lift a big man up. But Francis getting out of the way and sweeping the leg of Mazzarchi. But obviously Kim Min-ji could as well have a bit of a distraction in this match as well, obviously, as her dad later on tonight has a chance to become the world champion of MCW. And MD Silver wasting no time helping his tag partner out there. And Francis throwing Kim Min-ji into the barricade. And a double axe handle from the top of the rope and a power bomb to the outside by Francis and a power bomb on the inside from MD Silver into a knee strike. Goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and Kim was running towards the ring, but she definitely would not have made that in time. Francis getting out a kendo stick now. Goes to take it to Mazzarchi, but Mazzarchi catching him off guard and it thrown right into the ring post by Kim Min-ji, MD Silver, and a reversal there from Francis to get the DDT. Mazzarchi tries to catch him off guard, but he sees it coming into a suplex of his own and some quick kicks into the chest of Kim Min-ji and then into the head from MD Silver. And Francis looked like he was going to go for the world's strongest slam, but Mazzarchi caught him in a roll-up from MD Silver to Kim Min-ji. Mazzarchi was coming to her tag partner's aid, but it wasn't needed anyway. And it looked like there, a Kinshasa was attempted from Mazzarchi, but Francis Sharp leaped over it. And a springboard moonsault from Kim to MD Silver. But MD Silver getting up and planting her to the ringside now. As Mazzarchi takes a baseball bat into the stomach of Francis Sharp. And Kim Min-ji catching the kick of MD Silver. Vixen looking strong, a leg takedown there. Mazzarchi going for the pin on MD Silver now. But MD kicking out before 1. And the Devil's Kiss from Mizaki to MD Silva. And Francis taking a chair from Kim Min-ji. And 1, 2, and a kick out. Francis went to go break it up, but Kim Min-ji did catch him. But MD Silva got out of it on his own anyway. And a Kinshasa to MD Silva. Kim Min-ji going for the cover, but Francis Sharp keeping his tag team in it. But Kim Min-ji with a lovely reversal there as Mizaki comes in with a kendo stick, but MD Silva not allowing her to get any opportunity with that weapon. And Kim Min-ji with a big power bomb to a man that's like twice her size. And MD Silva with some elbows to Mizaki to get out of the grips. And Kim Min-ji missing the center there. And a tombstone pile driver there, but Kim Min-ji's right there to break it up. Francis Sharp going back under the ring, looking what he could use to his advantage here. And I love it. And a driver from MD Silva going in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at the last possible second. I actually think that Mizaki might have broke that up by rolling over, but a world's strongest slam from Francis to Mizaki. MD brutalizing Kim Min-ji with the kendo stick, but Mizaki kicking out at 2. And going for the pin once more, this time using the ropes as leverage, but Misaki getting out of it. Big clothesline on Mizaki there. And Francis waiting for Mizaki to get up into a spear. Doesn't capitalize with a pin though. Kim Min-ji pushing over. Kim Min-ji getting MD Silva up. And a lovely running clothesline from Francis to take Misaki down. Dropping there. And just, I guess, allows the hidden blade to be hit by Kim Min-ji there. What is Francis doing? He's just kind of stood there. What the fuck is he doing? But MD Silva kicks out nonetheless. Maybe Francis had too much confidence in MD there, because I'm not sure if I was in that position, if I'd have given that much confidence that he would have kicked out there. MD Silva getting up, or Francis, sorry, getting up there. Putting Misaki in a powerbomb position. Misaki fighting her way out here. Misaki going middle rope, double axe handle. Kim Min-ji top rope, but going for the pin now on Francis Sharp. 1, 2, and a kick out by Francis. Raining the sledgehammer on the stomach of MD Silva now. Francis moving out of the way, but he's met with a Kinshasa. A knee strike from MD Silva is dodged by Kim Min-ji. And the sledgehammer's repeated into the stomach of Francis Sharp. MD Silva flung over. I don't know what Misaki, and a kick out from Francis at 2. Misaki nearly knocking down the ref and stopping the pin there. Getting a bit too overexcited. That punch from MD taking both of them out. And despite Brothers in Crisis trying to get it, it's still Vixen who are getting the ability to start, and MD Silva jumping out of the way of Kim Min-ji. Into a torpedo Moscow on Kim Min-ji. Francis Sharp keeping Mizaki busy. 1, 2, 3. MD Silva and Francis Sharp have done it by the skin of their teeth in an incredible tag team match. Since they've become a team, they've now beaten Rock City Stars and Vixen, and they will now go on. Well, they were already going to be, but now they can focus their minds on Standoff and those tag team titles and taking them from the Blood Devils, the longest reigning tag champs in MCW history. Yeah, that is true. That's what I mean. Overall, like, that was horrible communication between MD and Francis there. They better hope to work on that before the PLE. one single moment of brilliance from MD Silva to hit that Torpedo Moscow out of nowhere and able to save the match for his team. Maybe the two Kinshasas that Francis Sharp took to the face maybe altered his brain a little bit and making some bad decisions, leading to some major miscommunications here. Yes, only Ronan Wolf was kicked out of the Torpedo Moscow, that is true. Yeah, he's the only one to do it. But regardless of communication, they're still happy to win. They now go on to standoff, hoping to be the next MCW Tag Team Champions. The first ever time a world title has been defended on a weekly show. As we have Cassidy Holland with his daughter Kim Min-ji in his corner. Despite the brutality she just faced, she wouldn't miss it for the world. Against MCW World Champion Marty in only his second defense with the belt. Of course, defending in an open challenge match against Ronan Wolf on Full Moon in the opener. And of course, let's not forget as well, whoever ends this match as champion will face Max Black in the champion versus champion match at Standoff. Cassidy Holland has pulled the upset off once, but he did it when it didn't matter. Can he now do it when all the pressure on the world is on his shoulders? Also, I'll give insider information, by the way. I was hoping that the manager would be able to be Seo Min-ji, but I don't have her downloaded anymore, and she's not on the community creations anymore, so I literally can't get her. It was but originally Kim was supposed to be Seo. And Marty immediately a DDT. Goes to drop the elbow, but Cassidy rolling out the way. Seo's in the front row. Yeah, exactly. This is by far Cassidy Holland's biggest match of his career. Of course, Cassidy Holland, he has a history of title matches. I believe he had 2 European Championship matches against Leon Grimes and lost both of them. Of course, as well, Seo Min-ji also had one lost, which is his wife. And then, obviously, Kim Min-ji had a shot at the tag titles alongside Masaki and lost as well. So, hopefully, Cassidy Holland looking to change the fortunes of the family. A sit-out powerbomb from Marty here. And a roll-up from Cassidy Holland. Could he steal the win early on? And a kick-out before 1. Now, we saw in Marty's tweet that this is a much more serious Marty than we're used to. Clearly seeing the threat that Cassidy Holland is, you know, when he caught him off guard last week. And obviously, Marty wanting to honour the way that he got his first ever title match. Of course, Marty earning his way into a match that was originally just between Max Black and Brad Collins. But earning his way into it, making it a triple threat due to him being the first ever person to beat Max Black. Being one of only 2 men to do it. Between, you know, obviously Marty has done it, and obviously Brad Collins. They're the only 2 men to ever beat Marty. Not Marty, sorry, beat Max Black. And obviously that performance, that upset on a regular weekly show, beating the champion, beating the undefeated, was what got him that world title shot. So he felt the urge and the honour to do the same thing here tonight in rewarding a man who managed to shock the world last week by beating Marty in what was actually quite a dominant performance. Can Cassidy Holland do it again tonight, though? That's what we're going to be wondering here as he drops below Marty. Leapfrogs over the top of him and tripping over the leg. Going for the pin early, trying to capture that world title. And a kick out at 1. It's already the second pin that Cassidy's gone for in this match. Clearly trying to catch Marty off guard. Marty was going to go for a springboard there, but Cassidy catching him before he could. He might be old, but he's got the speed to be able to see these kind of things. And a clothesline from Marty into a second clothesline. And tripping up the leg. Marty now getting back into this match here. Into a huge chop to the chest. Into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Cassidy Holland. Goes to drop the elbow, but misses, and now pouncing on top of Marty, raining down the punches, hoping to bust him open. But Marty returning the favour. Cassidy Holland rolling out of the way. It looked like both men went for a clothesline there, but it was Marty who was able to get his to deliver just a little bit faster. Picking Cassidy Holland up from the ground. Marty slamming him down to the mat as he climbs up to the top rope. Goes for a torpedo splash, but Cassidy Holland rolls out the way. Goes to pick him up, but Marty jumping from behind him into what was like a zigzag, basically. Dropping the elbow onto the chest of Cassidy Holland now. Gets him up for a suplex. And now going for the pin to retain the World Championship. He uses the ropes here to cheat. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. The ref doesn't see it, but Marty trying to use the ropes to his advantage against Cassidy Holland. Now Marty jumping to the top ropes. Cassidy Holland dazed in the center of the ring, but he's too far for Marty to think of going for a springboard, and he's met into a clothesline, into another clothesline, into a power slam. And a big drop kick to the face from Cassidy Holland. And he's got him up top. And goes for a top rope hung DDT, but Marty with some punches to the gut to prevent that from happening. And removing out of the way. And an RKO out of nowhere from Cassidy Holland. Can he capture the World Championship right now? Right here. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Marty. Dropping the knee on the back of the head now of Marty. And a double stomp to the face. And a running knee. Standing in the corner, waiting for Marty to get up. Picking him up. But Marty wriggling out the way, and a little simple backdrop to the mat here to try and kill the momentum. And an RKO of his own from Marty. As he goes up, goes into a springboard clothesline, but Cassidy Holland moves out the way. And dodges a super kick from Marty as well. Fling him off the ropes. Dropping down. And a power slam. Marty rolling out the way, though, into a Superman punch. Picking Cassidy Holland up now. Throwing him into the corner. Slam down to the mat. Is he going to go for that torpedo splash once more? He is. And it lands. Goes in for the pin to retain. 1, 2, and a kick out at the last possible second. The referee's hand couldn't be any closer to the mat. Cassidy Holland's hopes of becoming world champion still alive here. But the submission locked in here. But Cassidy gets his way out of it. And going for a splash, Cassidy Holland moving out the way. Targeting, trying to bust Marty open. And still continuing to try and bust Marty open, and he succeeds. Blood dripping from the face of Marty. Series of stomps across the body of Marty now. As he now goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Marty. And Marty gets up, met with a clothesline from Cassidy Holland. Picking Marty up. Marty running out the way, though. Cassidy Holland with a big fist to the face as he now goes. He goes towards the corner, but Marty starts getting up. I think he was setting up the punt kick. Running him against the ropes. And a pop-up cutter! A pop-up cutter into the pin. Can Cassidy Holland secure the World Championship? 1, 2, 3! Cassidy Holland has done it! Cassidy Holland is your new MCW World Champion. And he will go on to face Max Black at Standoff in a champion versus champion match. Not only did he do the upset once, he did it twice. As Cassidy Holland, despite having one of the worst starts an MCW wrestler has ever had when he first joined the company, he moved over to Strike, saw some fortune, but just couldn't capture any meaningful level of opportunity. Returned to Clash, been on a dominant run since, picks up the huge upset against Marty in a normal one-on-one exhibition match, and then completes the miracle against Marty in at Clash 25 and becomes the MCW World Champion. And the entire landscape of NCW has changed leading into Standoff. As there it is, the pop-up cutter. Support from his daughter, Kim Min-ji, in the corner. As there he is, the moment, as he picks up the MCW World Championship. Marty has been dethroned by Cassidy Holland.